Hello and welcome back to the Knitting Page channel. If you're new here, my name is Paige and I'm the face behind the Knitting Page. This morning I have my highly requested video on how I go about and make my seasonal mood boards. And this is a video I'm a little nervous to make because I haven't done anything that's like tutorial based in the past, but one that I'm excited to explore and kind of unleash my creative possibilities with you all. It is the middle of August right now and I've been thinking about what I want to make this fall, and I figured since I have the summers off, this would be a great time for me to sit down and go through how I go about selecting my yarns, how I go about creating my mood boards as part of the process to think about what I want to make this fall. So in general, when going about these seasonal plans, I oftentimes want to go to my stash as a way to get inspired. I've accumulated a decent amount of yarn. You can see behind me that I have some yarn. This chest is full of yarn, and I also have another bin in my room full of yarn. I have like a mental catalog of the yarn that I have in my possession, but at the end of the day, I also sometimes like to pull my yarn out and go through that process. I am not going to pull out my stash today just because I feel like I have my ideas more or less set, and I want to talk more so about the process of creating the mood board rather than the process of creating my seasonal plans. A big part of that is sitting down with my stash and thinking, what do I have and what patterns are catching my eye, and do I have yarn in my stash that I can use to already make those patterns? I want to try to use what I have both in terms of from a storage perspective. I want to reduce the amount of yarn that I have. It would be great to keep it to just my little case behind me. But right now I do have an additional chest full of yarn, or an additional bin full of yarn in my bedroom. And also from a money perspective is that I've already invested in this yarn and I would like to see it come to life in a project, even if it's different from the project that I initially bought the yarn for. Okay, so what I've done here is I have gathered the yarns that I plan to use this fall in my basket, and I also have this ongoing project that is in this bag for plans that I'm planning to knit this upcoming fall. When making these mood boards, I will get all my yarns together and I'll put them all in one place. So for example, I'll put them all in this basket. From here, I'll go through and I'll sort them out. So I'm planning to make a white project, a brown project, another like light beige project, a green project, a gray project, one navy project, and another navy project. And I'm gonna keep you on your toes, and I'm not gonna tell you what these projects are because I'm gonna talk all about them in my upcoming fall plans video. But I do want to make a mood board to kind of get everything in order. So I'm gonna tuck my little basket. Maybe I'll tuck it over here. And what I do next is I go on my computer and I start by going on Pinterest. So for those of you that don't know what Pinterest is, I'm assuming most of you do, but it's just a collection of pinned photos from across the internet where you can pin them and put them onto boards. And what I do is I go through and I create my own Pinterest board. And so you can see here, I have my home page for my Pinterest. This is just a curated, like AI generated, algorithm based page that Pinterest has already pre-selected for me based on what I have previously searched and pinned and favorited. From here, what I will do is I will... You are my sunshine. You are my sun. Red and white. What I will do is I will go on Pinterest and once I'm on Pinterest, I will look up a color such as navy and then finish it with the word aesthetic. From here, I'll scan and go through the pictures that Pinterest has to offer. Once I find a picture I like, I will go ahead and make a board on Pinterest so that I can save all of my future pins to the same board. I'll make sure to name it something on the lines of 2025 Fall Knitting Mood Board so that it's easy to find moving forward. Creating my mood board means finding a corresponding picture or two in the color palette for each of the projects that I'm planning to knit. This fall I have some navy projects that I'm hoping to knit, and so I'm going through and looking for navy photos that I feel like encapsulate the fall knitting vibe that I am going for. I'll make sure to go through each of the different colorways that I'm hoping to find. In this case, I'm using Dusty Artichoke by Knitting for Olive. You can see that there are some Dusty Artichoke photos, but there's also literal artichokes. None of these are really catching my eye, and so I'm going to go back and try a different keyword. I'm just going to go with dusty green aesthetic and see what pops up. Here I'm seeing a lot of photos that I'm actually vibing with and that are kind of encapsulating what I want to knit this fall. So I'm going through and pinning something that doesn't look too spring, too summery, but kind of has that moody fall aesthetic so that this is the type of board that I want to make and create to inspire my fall knitting plans. I repeat the process with each of the colors that I'm planning to work with this fall. Next up on my list, I have gray, and I'm scanning through to find something that feels like the moody fall gray that I'm going for. For some reason, none of these grays are really hitting the spot. This statue kind of feels right, but it's still not exactly what I'm feeling, so I keep searching until I find the ideal gray pictures to emulate the little slipover that I'm hoping to knit this fall. Keep going until I have all of the photos that I want for my 2025 fall knitting mood board. From here, I want to go and look at my board, so I go to my home and then I click on my profile icon where I can see my saved ideas, including my 2025 fall knitting mood board. Here's a collection of all the photos that I have pinned that inspire the knitting plans that I'm hoping to craft and create this upcoming fall. Next, you want to make sure to save each of the pictures that you want to include in your mood board. I try to save them under their color names, such as navy. I'll make sure to go through and save each of the images until I have about 6 to 8. You are my sun. You are my sunshine. You are my sun. Once you have all your pictures saved, you're going to want to open Canva and select a poster. From here, you're going to make sure that you want to name it something relatable, such as 2025 Fall Knitting Mood Board. You're then going to want to upload all of the pictures that you want. So you click upload files. I drag and select the photos that I've saved from Pinterest so that they get uploaded onto Canva. Once the photos have been uploaded, you're going to click and select the photos that you'd like and drag and put them onto the poster in your desired arrangement. You are my sun. You are my sunshine. You are my sun. Once you have the arrangement that you like, you're going to go to Elements. From here, you're going to add the rounded square shape. Your shape will appear on the poster. From here, you're going to go and select color. And you'll see on the left side of the screen that there's an option called photo colors, where you'll select your favorite color that matches your aesthetic. You're then going to customize the size of your shape by moving around the edges so that it fits to whatever size you prefer. You're then going to repeat this process for all of the other colors that you'd like to include in your mood board. A reminder to go to the photo colors so that it's pulling colors from your pictures that you've selected. It just saves you time instead of going through the color wheel and trying to find the exact color. If the color's slightly off what you want, you can go to the color wheel and adjust it from there, but I find it's easier just to select the colors that work based on the photo colors. To finish up the mood board, I'll play around with location of my squares to just make sure that all the squares are kind of evenly placed and I feel like adding to the picture rather than making it too crowded. Once you have your mood board situated to what you like, you're going to go up to the share button in the top right, press download, and select the format that you would like. I usually go for PNG or PDF for print. Your mood board will download to your computer, and from there you're good to go and you can share it however which way you'd like. So I hope that was a helpful tutorial for you all. It was the first of its kind for myself. We'll see how this editing went, but please let me know in the comments below what colors you plan on knitting with this fall. And if you wind up making your own mood board, I would love to hear from you all. If you'd like any more details or to see any other videos on this type of agenda, please let me know. And yeah, it was kind of fun to play around and we'll see what happens. And yeah, happy knitting and enjoy your fall knitting. Goodbye.